Let's have the chats while I do my makeup today, and I'm starting off with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, which I use as a primer. If you haven't tried it, do it. It's brilliant. It keeps your makeup in place all day. And my foundation of choice is the Sculpted by Aimee Satin Silk Foundation. I leave all the shades and everything below, and this is a beautiful full coverage foundation. I like to use this when I'm filming because it's got really nice coverage, but it gives a really nice glow as well. I do like full coverage foundations, but not always if they are matte or kind of make it look really flat on the skin. I find this works best on me with a brush like this from Blank Canvas, the F01, or a makeup sponge as well. I think that this is probably best suited for those with normal to combination skin. If you've got dry skin, you will definitely need to prime your skin or moisturise right before. I'm going to use my Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Concealer. I love this so much. I'm very picky about concealers, especially under my eyes, because I don't want anything that's going to be too heavy, and too cakey under the eyes. This gives brilliant coverage, feels really lightweight, but doesn't crease on me, which is a very enjoyable. So yeah, I'm just bringing it under the eyes, places that I feel like I need a little bit more coverage, because I'm probably all up in your face if you're watching this. And whatever's left on the brush, I just bring it across the eyes. Next is my powder of joy. It's the Mercier Translucent Powder in Tone Up. It's a pink toned powder, and I really work it into my brush and then knock off all of the excess. This is key when you're using a loose powder like this, because you don't want it to look cakey. Well, I don't anyway. I don't bake with this. I think I'm too old to bake my makeup. But one tip that I will share with you is that I always powder across my eyebrows, so that when I go in with my pencil, it has something to stick onto. You can see I'm not powdering my whole face, just the parts that I'll get oily first. Then we're using another Irish brand, SoSu, and this is their collaboration with Bonnie Ryan. She's an influencer and my pal, and I'm using the tiniest amount because this is so pigmented. So with this, I make sure to really work it into the bristles of the brush that I do need to wash. I will wash this after this, and I start to pat it into my skin. Now, as you can see, this is so pigmented, but wait until you see the glow that it gives. At this point, I'm thinking I've applied too much. It's the story of my life. I apply too much blush every day. But look at the glow. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? It has this pearlized pigment mixed in with the blush. Oh, it's gorgeous. I like to bring my blush across my head. Why? I do know why. Because I want to look a little bit sun-kissed, even though it's February. So yes, I'm just patting it into my skin, and I bring it across my nose as well to look sun-kissed. And this is my face where I'm like, yep, I'm just going to keep applying it. Then with my foundation brush, there's no extra foundation on it, just whatever's left. I bring it and I mesh the blush in with my foundation. So I'm just bringing this around the edges of the blush, not the main parts of it as well. And the part that's across my head, I'm just patting it, as you can see, bouncing it into my skin just to mesh all the edges. I want it to look seamless. Seamless is what we're going for today. But I just love the finish of this blush. Oh my God, it makes me look really fresh-faced and glowy. Look, here's me going, I love it so much. Fab. Next, my favourite eyebrow pencil. It's the Benefit Precisely My Brow. I use shade 6, and listen, I'm no professional when it comes to brows. You know the way they say, oh, brows are like sisters. Well, mine are like sisters from another mister. Let me just tell you that. I just hope for the best. There's no guarantee that my brows will turn out any day. Some days they look fantastic. Some days they look ridiculous. And with this pencil, it has just the perfect formula for me, where I barely need to touch it onto my skin before I can get the hair-like strokes. And you can see on this brow, I'm really trying to, I don't like anything that's too blocky when it comes to brows. I want it to look a little bit unruly, so I'm trying to mimic the brow hairs at the upper part of the brow, so that it just looks a little bit fluffy. But yes, brows, not my forte. Next, we're using the brow mascara from Irish brand Brow Aid. And I love this. This is actually probably the best brow mascara that I've used, because I have about 4 brow hairs due to the great overplucking of 1996. I blame Gwen Stefani. She did this to me. And my brows just don't grow at all. So this gives definition to the 4 brow hairs that I have. Next up, we have my bronzer, and it's a Giorgio Armani. It's actually a face powder, but they sent me shade 11.5 ages ago, and it's the perfect bronzer for me. And I love using my bronzer on my lids. I do it pretty much every day. It's so easy. And you can see I haven't used bronzer on my face in this look. And I rarely really use bronzer. This is mainly for my eyes because it has that perfect tone, like a ready tone. Now, oh, look at this little tip now. Sorry, I'm just like recording this as I'm doing it. So when I go to do my lower lashes, like under my lower lashes, I use that same brush and I pinch it so I can really get really, really close. And then I use that same brush just to blend everything out really, really evenly. I think, yeah, this shade just makes my eyes look so green. And I'm just doing the same on this eye. Now, sometimes I don't use this across my lid. I'll just use it into the crease. Just gives like a little bit of definition. And one tip that I want to share is if you find it hard to blend your eyeshadow, get your face powder if you have a loose powder. I'm using the same eyeshadow brush as you can see, really working it into the bristles, shaking off loads of it, and then use it right where the eyeshadow, or your bronzer in this case, finishes. And this helps to blend it out so easily. It's a tip that I use all the time because sometimes matte powders or matte eyeshadows can be a bit hard to blend. Next up, we have another Irish brand. This is not on purpose. This is just what I'm using. It's the Up Cosmetics Stretch and Curl Mascara. I love this. I've been using this for absolutely months. And I only ever use one coat of this. Now, my interpretation of one coat is one dip. So I have dipped into the I've dipped into the tube. I apply it to my upper lashes. Whatever's left on the brush then goes on my lower lashes without dipping again. This is the same brush, same dip, and it goes back up onto my upper lashes. So to me, that's one coat. If you think that's two coat, that's fine. But I love this for definition, for curl, for lift, but it's not over the top. It's like the perfect daytime, but also nighttime mascara. I really like it. It doesn't smudge or flake on me, and I think it's fab. Now look at this. This is me coming up close because doesn't it look like I'm wearing liner, like a nude liner on my waterline? But I'm not. It's like a mixture of the powder, of the mascara that just makes my eyes look awake. Now, this lipstick is very fantastic. Can't remember the name of it, but I'll leave a link below. It's a NARS, I think it's a NARS Sensual Glossy Lip in the shade Dolce Vita. Now, I'm really applying this weirdly because I have this weird thing when it comes to applying lipstick on camera. I just don't like when people do it and I can see their tonsils and everything like that. So here's me judging myself for the final shot, and then I'm looking at myself going, do I need a little bit more blush? Do I? Yes, I do. So whatever's left on the brush, I'm just going to pat it in. And I do this all the time. Apply the blush, then do my eyes, and then see if I need to balance out the look with more blush. So just patting it on them like, okay, that's enough. But then back in with the foundation brush and just meshing everything together. And this has just been my go-to look for ages. It's fresh-faced. I think it's very youthful. I think it makes my skin look glowy. And I think I look fantastic. Anyway, if you've any questions, leave me a comment below. Thanks for watching.